Hello students, today's video lecture is about paper presentation for your board exams. So now everybody will be feeling like we are giving 100% but yet we don't get our marks what we expected. One of the major reasons can be because your poor paper presentation. The reason why paper presentation plays a very important role is because that's the only thing which is going to attract the examiners to get more marks. The neat you write, the more marks you get. So you need to follow certain points due to which there are very high chances of getting good marks. So the reason why paper presentation is important is because firstly it will show you that it's going to portray your image in front of the examiner saying that how have you studied the entire year. Secondly, without any cancellation and in a very proper formatted paper presentation will make him very comfortable while checking the paper, and then it is very easy for him to give the marks. Like if it's 2 marks, then okay, you've written the proper content, so it's okay for him. So that is the reason why paper presentation is very necessary. So here are certain steps where you need to take while you have started writing your paper. So the first thing is you need to check whether all the pages are ruled and proper. At times what happens is you get a blank page where either it can be misprinting mistake or there'll be some mistake. So the first thing when you get your answer sheet is you need to just check all the pages of the supplement whether all are ruled or no. So ruled papers are very important. The second is fill in the required details. So as soon as you get your paper, you check the first point. Then the second point is again you need to fill in all your details like your seat number, your hall ticket number, whatever, your signature and all is very important. So make sure you are doing it everything properly, because anything happens over there, there are chances of happening something wrong also. Draw margins. Margins, not a very wide margin but then a smaller breadth margin, because the reason is at time the paper can tear with the edges. So it's better to maintain a safe distance so that our answers don't get tear apart while there's some misplacement or something. Now following are the do's and don'ts while you are writing a paper. So please keep this in mind when you are writing any paper. This is a paper presentation for maybe all the subjects, but do follow them, because one point which I have included here is going to make sure that it's completing the entire paper. So the first one is use black, blue ball pens only. Now at times what happen is, what generally students do is they'll initially write the paper with the black pen and then they'll later on feel like okay, we'll write with the blue pen. So again you need to use a pen of the same ink, not because same ink, because you cannot actually make one black pen and then one blue pen. The reason is because again it is a very bad way of presenting your paper. Secondly, if your pen stops in the middle or it has some issue with it, you need to have an extra pen of the same ink. Like if you are writing with a black pen, you need to have a same black pen and extra black pen, you can say. So always make sure that you are using only these two pens. Do not use green and red color pens. The reason is because these are used by the examiners. So that's the reason why you have only the authority of using these two inks. Write the numbers of the questions and the sub questions. This is very important. At times we forget to write the sub questions, and no examiner is actually going to take the question paper and take your answer paper and sit and compare, because they have around an ample amount of paper to correct with them. So they are never going to do that. So make sure you write the sub questions very much and very clearly and in a very visible format, because you're only writing the main heading. There are even sub questions in it like section A, section B, section C. So you need to write those also. Underline where required. Again, underlining plays a very important role. Your fill in the blanks. If you don't underline, they can give you a straight 0, because again they are not going to sit with the question paper and check your paper like okay, you had to underline here, you didn't underline here, so he'll underline it for you. No. Please make sure that you are underlining each and everything. Like you can say complete the following, complete a word, or maybe fill in the blanks, or you can make a box type of a thing so that it's more neat and presentable. Avoid making mistakes on the first page. It's a very well-known saying that first impression is the last impression. So the way you portray your first page is impression on the examiner, whether you have studied well the entire year or it's just like you've just come up to give your exam, like very casual attitude. So make sure you don't make any mistake on the first page. Compulsorily on the first page, of course, you have to be in all pages, but not on the first pages majorly. The reasons, again, presentation, impression. It is very comfortable for him to give you marks in a very faster way. The easier you make the work of the examiner, the higher the marks you can get. So avoid doing that. The next is In questions of distinguish between make two different columns, yes, very much essential. Make two different equal columns. At time what happens is the students, what they tend to do is one column is going to be very small and the other column is going to be very big. So if you are making columns, make sure that both the columns are of equal size so that it will look in a very neat and organized format. Even if you are in a hurry to write the paper, make sure that you are organized in a well way, because organization in presenting your paper is very important even if it comes to basic underlining to drawing a column also. Give examples as much as possible. Yes, giving examples, whether it is a distinguish between or your answer briefly or your answer short notes, you need to give an example. The reason why example plays a vital role is because the examiner will come to know, okay, you've understood the concept and then you are writing, rather than just mugging up and just writing over there. So examples will let him know that, okay, you've understood this concept, that is the reason why you are giving an example. Use pencils for underlining, making columns, very important. Do not use pens for underlining especially, and then for making columns also. At times what students do is they will just draw with their pen the diagrams which are there for science exams or economics. It is a very bad habit to do that. I don't know what happens to take a pencil and then draw to them, because pencil is always recommended for a diagram, not a pen. Pen, you cannot, if you are using a pencil, you can at least erase something, but then when it comes to pen, you cannot sit and erase, you have to actually cancel it. So again, that is a very bad impression on the examiner. Draw neat diagrams where it is necessary, label it properly. Labeling is very important. Science papers especially, and 12th HSC economics, you need to label each and every diagram which you draw. The reason behind is if you don't draw the diagram, the examiner can give you a straight zero for the entire answer because you've been careless in that diagrammatical way. Write in points for brief answers, short notes, very important. Brief answers, you need to write in points. The reason behind it is it will make very helpful for the examiner to correct each point. Okay, he's written this point, okay, fine, correct. This point, this point. So he'll just go step by step, step by step. If you written a very big paragraph, like just going on writing without any space, he'll get irritated. Of course, it is going to affect your marks. I said very clearly, the easier you make the work of the examiner, the higher marks you're going to get. Highlight important points by underlining important points, the points which you have been written in your brief answers or short notes. Like you can say, for example, an example of OC answer I will take, sole proprietorship. So sole proprietorship is individual ownership, no sharing of profit and losses. So these are certain headings. Now these headings you can actually underline them and then you can explain them. So underlining helps them, the examiner, to identify, okay, he's written this point and the inside content will be there. Make sure you are leaving a line after every point you write. Do not write irrelevant things on the answer paper. Irrelevant things as in your personal details, of course, you cannot disclose them at all, or any other irrelevant things which are beyond asked in the question paper, because again, even if he's good mood while checking the entire paper, if you write certain irrelevant things which is not supposed to be written in your exam sheets, he has full authority to deduct your marks, and he will deduct, of course. So make sure you do not disclose anything. Even if you're writing English letter writing, please do not write your name, your teacher's name, your school name, whatever is it. Please do not write, because he can deduct marks later. So make sure you do not write any irrelevant things. Please follow these do's and don'ts, because this is going to help you for your paper presentation. Hopefully this video is going to help you. Thank you.